Hi everyone, I'm back again. How quick was that? 3 days? Okay, I'm back with another card. Now this one I saw on Pinterest, and it was pinned from an Etsy store called Daisy Blue Designs. I shall put a link in the description box below. This one's actually, for sale on Etsy's site, so I just looked at it and thought, yep, I like that. I'll just do one up for myself, make it myself. So what I did first was within Word, Microsoft Word, I printed is only 15 in Scrabble. Okay, this is the card we're going to make. Okay, so I didn't want to individually stamp all the letters, or so I just drew up a box that was the same size as the top layer on the card, and then just gauged where the words would be. So I've printed that out on an A4 piece of paper, cardstock, sorry, and it was printed with a an inkjet printer, not a laser. So, and then what I did, because I want it cut down to 5 inches by 3 7/8, so I roughly, it'll be about 3/4 of an inch. The bottom will be 3/4 of an inch below that 15 in Scrabble there. So what I did was come up to where it would be 3/4 of an inch below up here, and marked it with a pencil. So that's what I'm going to cut out there on that line. Oops. So then I know I want that to be 5 inches, so I'm going to cut that down now. So then it needs to be centered here. So what I'm going to do is get my Timmy ruler and find the center, which is roughly about there, and mark there on the left where it should be, because I just did the 4 inches and took off a bit, so it's going to be 3 7/8. So that's what that is now. It's probably a bit low there. I probably could have brought that up to about an inch. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Alright, so then I painstakingly put these Scrabble tiles. I'm sorry, I don't know what set or where I got these from. They were about, there were 8 of the letters, each on a wooden block, and I think I had them near me somewhere, but they've escaped me at the moment. But so what I did was took them off the block and mounted them on some easy mount tape, and then I painstakingly put each individual block on here so that it roughly gets stamped in a straight line. So I'm going to ink that up with some Versafine Onyx Black ink. And then put this, make sure it's lined up on my grid mat there, and try and get it straight and centered on there. So that's what we've got there. 60 is only 15 in Scrabble. Now to finish that off, because that looks pretty ordinary, doesn't it? What I'm going to do now, these numbers here were cut from my Cricut cartridge called Learning Curve, and they were cut at 1.5 inches, these ones. So I'm just going to position them where they look the best, and then I'm going to line up my cardstock again. I'm going to grab my ruler and make sure That's straight, and yeah, about there. So then I'm going to glue these down with some wet glue. I'm using Scotch Quick Dry. And about there should do it. Okay. We'll glue the 0 down. Looks about right. Close enough. Alright, there we go. Now, that's pretty plain and boring, isn't it? All black. So, what I thought, because on the card on that I saw on Pinterest, it did have the wooden tiles there. I think the Daisy Blue Designs shop, the lady there must have used tiles or something, I'm not quite sure. So what I'm going to do, I've just done this one and started colouring it in. I'm using a Copic marker. Oh, you know what I did? Used Onyx Black Versafine ink instead of the Memento. Okay, Tuxedo Black. Anyway, let's hope it won't run. So anyway, we'll do this. So this one is E00, and I'm just going to colour that in so it looks like a Scrabble tile. Okay, so that's what is there, 60, yep, okay. So then, once I've done that, coloured in, I'm going to leave this and not touch it till it dries completely. I'm going to take a wink of Stella clear pen and then go over that black cardstock in the numbers, the 6 and 0 with it, just to give it some sparkle. I'll just show you. I don't know whether you can tell. See how that 0 actually really sparkles. The 6 is very dull. So go ahead and do the other one. Well, I'll do that later. Already got one done. Okay, so, and they're dry. So that 60 is nice and sparkly. So what I'm going to do is put some score tape on the back of that, or double-sided tape. Now before I, oh, what's running there? Before I attach that, I'm going to punch the corner of it. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's getting dirtier. So I actually cleaned it up. I was able to fix it. So I'm just going to punch the bottom right hand corner of this top layer and place it on my card base. I'm not going to have a middle layer. It's just going to be the card base in this. So I probably should have dimensionalized it, but anyway. So let's try and stick this down evenly. Not too bad. Okay. Alright, so the card base is 8 1/4 by 5 1/4. Scored at 4 1/8 in the middle, and so that's what we have there. Pretty plain, and you know, I mean, that's probably a good mail card. Right, in the middle, what I'm going to do is cut a piece of white cardstock that is the same as the front layer, the top layer, which is 3 7/8 by 5. So that's what I've got here, and then I'm just going to stamp the happy birthday in Versafine ink. Because basically the front doesn't say happy birthday, it just says 60 is only 15 in Scrabble. So let's put this, align this on the mat. Try anyway, and there we go. Right, ooh, there, that is. So once that dries, I'll put some tape on the back and stick it down, and the card's done. So I've just applied the tape to the back of that inside sentiment piece, and I've got to punch the, I like to put the tape on before I punch the, if I'm going to punch it. That way I don't have to worry about putting the tape on that curve. It's already there right to the edge. So now hopefully I can stick it inside a card base, which I haven't got ready, so I'll go and grab one. Okay. So I'm going to have to chop that bottom right hand corner. And then stick the sentiment in there. And there we go. So there is completed card. So what I could do maybe later on is find a Scrabble board, or take a photo of my Scrabble board that I have here and print it off onto a piece of white cardstock so that you've got that in the background. That might be a good idea. Might actually go and find one now and do that. Okay, probably an hour later I found a graphic. I saved it. I then opened it up in Photoshop. I enlarged it, saved it, went back in Word, inserted it into the document I had with this text on it. I changed it to a watermark, a washout, sorry, so you can barely see the detail on it, but it's there. I then pasted that text box over it, made put the transparency to 100% so that showed, and the background showed out, and so then I printed it out, but I couldn't get it so that I wasn't going to fiddle any longer. So I could only get one out of an A4 sheet, so it was a bit of a waste of paper. So anyway, I've done it. Bit of working around there, but I've got the graphic now. I can play around with it later, and I can actually work on the file later, but I just want to play at the moment. So, made sure I got the Memento Tuxedo Black ink out to ink up this 60, these Scrabble tiles, because yeah, that was just a nightmare, that one. Look at it. That was using the Versafine ink, and I'd let it dry for a while. Well, obviously not long enough. Okay, so let's try and stamp this straight, because this is the only one. So there we go. The only thing is that blue square there has gone into that tile, so if I felt like it, I could have stamped, coloured, and then fussy cut out each individual tile and set them on, but that's just too much work. I've gone to enough trouble as it is for a very plain card. So anyway, done. 2 down, 50 to go. Yep, I'm going to try and post a video once a week. I can't remember whether I told you that in the last video, but yeah, 2 down, so another one and I'm pretty much caught up. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.